What's the situation where they're getting Zion Williamson? He would need to essentially go to New Orleans management and say, I am never playing another game for this franchise again.
Well, hold on 1 second. Last year, his family and him at the end of the season said that he wants to be traded. There were stories coming out of New Orleans that he does not want to be there. He wants to be traded. He doesn't want that extension. He wants to be traded before that extension.
Well, I think, yes, there was reporting to that end. At the same time, he did get up and put a smile on his face at, media day this year and was like, no, I'm here. I want to be a Pelican. Now, whether he was lying through his teeth is another story altogether. But there are different gradients of how much does a player not want to be somewhere. I personally think he wants out, and I think him and his family and his people and his handlers and whatever else are plotting ways for him to get out. As far as is that why the Knicks did this trade? I'd be very surprised because there are so many hurdles that still need to be cleared. He needs to, first of all, Zion needs to get back on the court, and then is he going to take the qualifying offer? Is he going to threaten to take the qualifying offer? And then there's a bidding war. Is he going to demand, I only want to be traded to this one team or these two teams or whatever? I don't know about that. For right now, the Knicks have to figure out, are they going to offer Cam Reddish an extension this season or this summer, which based on what, it's kind of been insinuated that he wants. That's what's more interesting to me because he apparently wants to be paid. And he hasn't done it on the court to warrant that yet, but that, we'll find out in a few months, I guess.
You actually just segued perfectly into my question. So obviously NBA is a land of big three teams now. LA, Miami, just go on and on. The Nets.
Brooklyn's a pretty good one, yeah.
The Bulls. So when you look at these teams, right, big three, that's what it is. I know Earl's going to snarl at this. Julius Randle is obviously going to be one of those three, and you hope and pray that R.J. Barrett will either become a one or become the two or whatever the case may be. This trade, the only resentment I have in this trade is that everyone was
anticipating
that Kevin Knox was going to be part of a package to bring in a star at the deadline, or whether it's Damian Lillard or Zion's names being thrown around, whatever. And obviously Dante Sabonis in Indiana, Miles Turner. There's going to be guys to be had. Do you think the Knicks might have pulled the trigger a little too early with this Kevin Knox thing? If not, who do you think the Knicks get to bring the star here to New York?
Well, I don't think Knox has any value. I think Knox is in this trade because he's a salary, and the salary matched up, and that's the only reason he's in it. Kevin Knox, look, I wish the kid the best. He seems like a nice kid, comes from a good family, tries hard, really did his best to improve his defense to get on the court. It didn't work. I don't expect him to be in Atlanta's plans, and I don't think there was any. I mean, sure, could you have found someone in the league that was willing to give up a low second-round pick to take a chance on him for the rest of this year? Maybe. I don't Knicks fans will probably disagree with me on this. I don't think they have the pieces to get even one true star. Maybe if RJ Barrett keeps playing like this. But then again, if RJ Barrett keeps playing like this, why do you want to trade him?
Right.
For someone older. I think all that being said, I still think the Knicks have a nice asset package if they want. And I think Cam Reddish, he's that again, this is not a trade that's going to happen this year for a number of reasons, but he can be part of that trade package because again, he's still on his rookie contract. They don't have to extend him this summer. They could let it go into restricted free agency. Between him, Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, again, Barrett, although maybe he's a core piece, we'll see. Quentin Grimes, who's the kid that Atlanta wanted that New York refused to give up on this trade, which I'm very happy about. They have young talent, but they don't have any, again, maybe with the exception of Barrett, they don't have any top-end young talent. So if and when the time comes that there's a star that's available, I think between the players they have and the picks that they have, because they have all their own picks and they have now one extra pick left in the Dallas pick, I think they'll be able to make that trade, but there's no star available right now other than Ben Simmons, which is it's a complicated situation. I'm not sure how willing the Knicks are to mortgage the farm to get Ben Simmons in here.
Well, I will say this, John. If you look at all the big trades over the years, in the regular, and I have seen trades where you mask a lot of players for a particular player, and you can get the player that you want. The Knicks got Carmelo Anthony, and they didn't give up any superstars. They gave up 5 players. They didn't give up superstars. So I do believe that the Knicks have enough to get to put in a package, even an Obi Toppin, if they want to move him involved in the trade, where they can get another superstar there if they feel that they think that he fits what they're looking for. Now, I don't know who that guy's going to be. It looks like Damian Lillard doesn't want to leave Portland. Well, who knows? Who knows?
I think Damian Lillard wants to get paid.
Yes, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? My last question for you is the fans. They have a couple of questions to ask you. Carl says, ask him if he viewed the tape of Ewing getting the business from security. He also says, who's a better player, Julius Randle or Charles Oakley?
I don't know about the Ewing thing. I love Patrick Ewing. He's the man. As far as Randall or Oakley, that's a great question. Who's the better player? Mm-hmm. I don't even know how to answer that. Oakley never had a season like Randall had last year, but
he's not an offensive player, but he's a great defensive player.
First of all, they have the same amount of All-Star appearances to their resume. One, Oakley made it 93, 94. Oakley's better. I mean, he has the track record. Oakley was, I don't know what you want to say, second best player, third best player on an NBA Finals team. He was a key cog on a number of teams that went deep in the playoffs. Second or third best player. He was the heart and soul of a team for a decade. It's Oakley, but I will say there is, it's not looking good for Julius Randle right now to change that ranking. But it's, he's only 27. Julius
Randle won't be a Knick very long. I'm telling you that right now.
Maybe.
I see what's going on right now, and the fans are starting to get on him, and the organization's going to start getting on him because he's not the same player he was last year. And I'm telling you right now, if he doesn't start producing, and this team isn't an everyday playoff team, every year playoff team, and it looks like the Knicks are a borderline playoff team right now. They might not even make the playoffs, being that the East is so very close and so barged together. So to me, where the Knicks are, everybody thought they were going to be in a better position adding Fournier and Kemba Walker, and it just hasn't happened this year. And who are they going to blame? The best player on the team, the guy that plays the most minutes. He leads the league in the top 3 most minutes in the league. It's Julius Randle, and he is not producing what the Knicks thought he was going to produce this year. So I'm telling you right now, Speedy. I was talking to Speedy before the show, and I think Sabonis is a guy that has been a name that's been brought up in trade rumors for the Golden State Warriors. I think Julius Randle for Sabonis heads up. I think that's a great trade for the Knicks. You bring in a guy that can rebound, he could shoot perimeter shots, and he's a great team player. And by the way, he plays defense, all around good defense. I think Sabonis for Julius Randle will be a great trade for the Knicks if it ever comes to fruition.
You threw a lot out there. I think that would be an interesting swap. I think certainly Sabonis has been the better player this year. Mm-hmm. Randle was a better player last year. It's not a straight up swap is not something I necessarily see the Knicks doing. But I will say this: I like if you would have asked me in the offseason whether I thought there was a possibility Julius Randle would get traded in the near future, I would have said no way. Now I don't think he's getting traded before the deadline, but I think they'll if this season keeps going like it is, I think they'll absolutely, explore options over the summer. What those options may be, who wants Julius Randle, as he's about to enter a new extension, I'm not quite as sure. I think that's a little bit trickier. But yeah, listen, it's New York. Guys don't stay for long for a reason.
All right, one bold prediction for the Knicks for the remainder of the season. It could be trade deadline, it could be in the season games, whatever. And one bold prediction across the league in the NBA.
My bold prediction for the Knicks, I could go one of two directions here. I think they'll make another trade. Miles Turner's a name that I've felt for. I've been on and off. Initially I thought there was 100% chance, not 100% chance, but a good chance that they would trade for him. Then I kind of backed off it. I'm in this in between place right now. I think Indiana wants to trade him, and I think Indiana is going to feel like this is the best opportunity they have to get the best value for Turner. And I think the Knicks want Turner. So that would be my bold predict. I don't know if I'm predicting a Turner trade, but I think they'll make another trade.
By the way, I just want to let you know, Julius Randle averages 19, 10.2, and 4.9 assists a game. To Sabonis is, I'm going to bring up his numbers.
Same, pretty much identical numbers. Sabonis averages.
Identical numbers. They're almost 19, 11.9, and 4.7. I mean, they're identical numbers.
Well, check the percentages there. Sabonis' average is 57%. Is shooting it.
Yeah, 57%. But he's also shooting more shots at the rim. Julius Randle is shooting more perimeter shots. That's the only reason why. But their numbers are very similar. And I think it would be a great heads-up trade for both teams. Both teams looking for different players to move forward with their organizations. I think it would be a great trade for both teams, by the way. So
I'll say this. I would be surprised if Indiana did that deal. And what was the other bold
across
NBA
the NBA?
Prediction?
One bold prediction.
My bold prediction across the NBA is that the Dallas Mavericks. I've said this one before, but I'll say it again. I think the Dallas Mavericks will make it to the Western Conference Finals this year.
Wow, really?
I don't have a ton of faith in the teams that are atop the West. That would be my bold NBA prediction.
Wow.
Interesting. Very interesting. Now, I mean, I guess he kind of stole my question here, but who in the East, obviously the New York Knicks don't look like they're going to go on a deep playoff run. Who are the two teams in the Eastern Conference? Who are your two conference finals games then? You already said you expect the Mavericks. So who's the other Western team, and who are going to go for the East?
In the East, I think Brooklyn will figure out a way to make it to the conference finals, as much as it pains me to say that. And Milwaukee. I don't know. The only thing I don't know there is if the seeding is going to work out. Obviously, Chicago's the number 1 seed, so it would create a similar situation to last year where Milwaukee and Brooklyn were the 2-3. I still feel like somehow it's going to be those two teams in the conference finals. And then in the West, so I already said Dallas. I probably have the most faith in... Man, it's tough because with injuries and is Kawhi coming back? Paul George.
They're saying he's way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, Jamal Murray. There's all these guys.
Paul George might be out for the season, by the way.
What are those guys going to look like if and when they come back? We have no idea. I would probably say Golden State. I've actually been a little more lukewarm on the Warriors than most people this year because they did start out with an incredibly easy schedule, and you're starting to see them come back down to earth now. But give Clay a couple months. And they have the institutional memory there, years and years and years between him, Draymond. I think Wiggins fits in great with that team. And I don't know if they're gonna make a move, but they have a move in them if they want to make it because they have young players, they have
Wiggins
their picks.
Could go.
But at the same time, Wiggins has been
fantastic defensively.
Yeah,
fantastic.
He's not an all-star.
If Clay's back, then you're just giving him Clay's spot.
No, you're not. You're moving Clay to the 2, and he's moving to the 3.
Well, no, but I mean, perimeter-wise, Klay Thompson could be that top guy again, defense. He might not be there, which is why they're going to keep Wiggins. But if Wiggins and Wiseman gets you Sabonis, you're pulling the trigger on that.
Carl also says, don't forget about Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole could go too. I mean, at that point, he's just going to be a role player, a 6 man. But no love for the Heat, huh? I think they're winning the East.
They could. It wouldn't. Well, winning the East would surprise me a bit. I think they could find their way into the conference finals. I think they're going to be a bear to deal with once they get healthy and everybody back. Hopefully for them for the playoffs. And honestly, I wouldn't rule out the Sixers. We'll see what happens with Ben Simmons. I think they're going to trade him. I don't know who they're going to trade him for, but I think they're going to trade him, and I think they're going to get a pretty good deal.
A bag of balls.
At this point, I think if they get a first-round pick, they should jump on it.
I think they're probably going to hold out for a little bit more than that, but
I don't know. How much more could you hold out for? You're finding the guy by the day, and he's still not coming.
Yeah, Daryl Morey's this isn't his first rodeo, though. I think he'll figure out a way to get something good for Simmons.